Hello and welcome back to another certified OG chefing video. Wintertime is around the corner, which is my favorite season of the year. And this year, once again, we're looking for the best winter car you can buy. Last year I had my RS4 V8, which was already pretty cool to drive and it sounded amazing. But it just was not cutting it right for me. So this year we're trying again. We're gonna travel all across Europe to find the best winter car possible and we're gonna bring it back to Austria. This is gonna be a fun journey, so sit back, relax and enjoy.
It's 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm flying to France to pick up a car.
Morning.
Food sind wir wieder dabei.
Oh, Alter, ich bin so nervös, ich hab nichts geschlafen.
Rein mit dir. Servus. Moin. Rein.
Moini.
Munich Airport.
Was hast du dabei, Alter?
Bist motiviert?
Geht voll, ja? Fix.
So tired. It's like 5:30. Flight leaves at 7. So we should arrive in France at like 8 in the morning. Lyon. That's where we're going.
Führerschein. Möchtest du selber fliegen oder was?
I think you all know what's coming next. Typical airport ceremony. Wir haben einen Privatjet gebucht.
Mit anderen
Wir
Leuten.
sind so nett, wir nehmen andere Leute auch noch mit. Yeah. Welcome in France. Made it to Lyon. It is now 8 a.m. in the morning. Pretty fresh here, but not as fresh at home. We're very motivated for the car. It's gonna be pretty good. We only have to figure out how to get down there. It's like 2 hours from the airport. I think taking a taxi is probably not the best, but we'll see. This is very spontaneous, by the way. We literally booked everything yesterday, so. Ladies and gentlemen, we just bought the car. It's gonna be a bit different than usual.
Geil.
Yeah, here it is. We bought a Peugeot because we thought it's gonna be something different for once. Typisch französisches Auto mit einem Hagelschaden.
Mit einem spanischen Kennzeichen.
I think it's gonna be fun in winter time. This car is front-wheel drive, but the handbrake works perfectly fine. Always wanted to have one of those. Nice steering wheel. Speedometer, also very beautiful. This speedometer is very interesting because this is actually head-up display, and then underneath you actually have the display itself. I hope you guys like this car.
Toller Kauf. Echt geil.
Dankeschön, Jungs.
So geil.
So we have around 1 hour 40 minutes to drive to our actual car. In case you could not tell that I did not actually in fact buy this Peugeot. Although we love Peugeots here on this channel and we don't discriminate any cars except French ones. Yeah, the car that we're actually buying, it may surprise you that I actually like it because I think it is a very, very cool car. I've never seen one drive in snow, but I have a feeling it's actually going to be pretty good for snow driving. So I think it's gonna be pretty nice.
And everybody told you that the car is horrible to drive in snow and you want to test it also.
From my experience, I think it's gonna be an actually very nice car to drive in snow. And it's like the holy grail here in Europe, this car. Like if you have it, most people will probably not drive it in snow.
Yeah.
Because it's such a like holy car.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it, everybody likes it. Yeah, that's probably also the reason why you don't really see it in snow. But like I said, I think it's gonna be good to drive. The reason why we're here in France is because it's pretty expensive to buy this car in Austria and Germany. And we found a pretty cheap one here in France. It costs around 40,000 euros, but we'll see if we can negotiate a little bit with them. That's why we have Patrick with us, because Patrick is expert on this field. So yeah, really quick, I want to tell you something about this car. This lovely little French Peugeot. This is my POV. And if you can notice, I don't see how fast I'm going, I don't see anything. But the steering wheel is like, you can't put it any higher up. The only thing I can do is I can put it lower, but then it sits literally on my legs. Then I can see a little bit. I can see actually everything. But like this is the normal steering wheel position. I don't know whose idea was it to build it like this. But he was probably French. Yeah, 2 minutes until we arrive at the guy's house. He speaks only French, so this is going to be a very interesting conversation. Like I said, we're gonna try to knock the price a little bit down to get an even better deal. I'm a bit nervous now. This is the moment of truth. Because of the car, we have to fly back home and I don't want to fly, I want to drive. We're so far down south in France. We're actually pretty close to Saint-Tropez. It has 11 degrees Celsius, which is not the ideal climate for this car. This car needs snow. So we're basically saving this car. It's like a rescue mission.
I think you're the only one that thinks about that. Da ist er. Da ist er.
Yeah.
Ich sehe sie
After moments of truth, I can't wait to drive this beautiful thing. Yeah, so the guy doesn't speak English at all, like literally no English. So we're just gonna translate through the phone and hopefully we can communicate with him. The only word he understood was the car brand. I am now standing in front of the car. Oh, it sounds good. You can hear it already. Maybe you can guess. Guess in the comments now below what car we're getting, just from the sound alone. It looks so incredibly good from behind. Such a fat booty.
And here it is, my new winter car. The legendary Audi RS4 B5. As a station wagon, the RS4 offered a unique combination of blistering performance with everyday usability. The car is equipped with a quattro all-wheel drive system that we already know from the RS4 B5 from last year. Audi produced only about 6,000 units of the RS4 B5, and most of them were only for the European market. And in my opinion, the car has an absolutely timeless design.
We're gonna show you in detail in my garage. We're gonna lift it up. We're gonna go over all of the stuff that you normally look at the car, and then we'll see what we can do pricing wise. What I can tell you is this car has legend status here in Austria and Germany, and I think I might actually be one of the first people to drive it in snow. I always wanted to have a B5. This is like my favorite Audi is the RS4 B5. So let's check it out.
So after thoroughly checking the car, it was clear why it was so cheap. The interior was in an absolute horrible condition and the car has lost many of its original parts. Some of the parts have been replaced with S4 parts, which are way cheaper than RS4 parts and look, in my opinion, absolutely horrible. Also the mirror caps were from an S4, which was not really fitting in my opinion. The wheels are from an RS4 B7, which was one of the later models and also not really my taste. Another point was the exhaust, which was custom made by the previous owner and it had a very interesting tone to it. The engine seemed okay so far, but we could not really check the underside and the engine as well. The paint of the car is a very good point though, because it is absolutely immaculate. So at least that. Still, it was very clear that we needed to lower the price. And so the negotiations with the French guy began. Of course, we had to use Google Translate.
Voilà, dernier. Vous êtes dur. Du bist hart. PayPal?
Perfekt.
Yeah, we are paying now 37,500 euros for this car with PayPal.
So yeah, you heard it. In the end, we paid 37,500 euros for this car, which I was kind of happy with. I had a good feeling about it and I think we can get this car into the right shape again with a little bit of love. But first of all, we have to drive this car around 1,000 kilometers back home.
Yeah, and with that, we begin our journey back home with my newly acquired RS4 B5. This car, by the way, is pretty low mileage, which is actually the first reason why we came down here. And I was honestly a huge fan of the white interior, but now that I see it in real life, probably not such a big fan anymore. The owner cried a little bit when we told him we're gonna drive it in snow. He didn't really like that, but you know, that's what this car is built to do, exactly this. It feels so strange picking up this car down here in France, because it doesn't really feel like winter down here. But back at home it's nearly snowing and here it has like 15 degrees Celsius, which is crazy.
The next problem was the communication problem.
I said that already. It was insane.
Yeah.
But the guy was a very, very nice guy. He's a mechanic down here, so he knows what he's doing, I hope. Yeah, I think the car definitely needs a few things. Gabriel wants to do an exhaust, so that's one thing. We're gonna do software. The car already has a software on it, but you know, I want flames, so we're gonna need something different. And honestly, with a few changes, it's gonna be a beautiful car because the paint outside is amazing. Also, these parts here, everything looks perfectly fine. Was looks too. One of Mani's dream cars, by the way. Part of me did it because of Mani.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But I want one. No, it's for this price it's amazing. Some cosmetic issues inside, yeah, but
We're gonna take care of that.
yeah,
We're gonna make it pretty again.
yeah.
Make RS4 B5 great again. Ja, das hat nicht lang gedauert, Jungs. Sind jetzt 10 Minuten gefahren ungefähr.
Jetzt ist wieder weg.
Naja, Zudersätze. Das ist aber eigentlich ein neuer Rekord, jetzt fast. Oh, maybe we got lucky and it's only the old fuel that's still inside the car. Because now, if the car is idling, it sounds healthy. Yeah, we're fueling up the car right now. Also really quick, we're gonna read the car to see what's really going on.
In the end, we just decided to continue our journey. The error code is very likely related to the fuel system, so it could very well be that the car just has some really bad fuel inside, since it has been sitting for around 2 years. We decided to drive through whole of Switzerland and make a quick little stop at a workshop of our friends to check the car thoroughly and to change the fuel filters.
Yeah, we are now somewhere in the middle of Switzerland. We drove for like 5 more hours. The car kind of fixed itself. I think like the main suggestion that we have is that we just have really old fuel inside the car because the car was sitting for like 3 years. It's running better now, but not perfectly fine. So we are now here at Garage Annie. He's a old friend of Patrick. We're checking the car now to see if everything is working as it should, and then we'll see what we'll come up with. Maybe we need a new fuel filter. That could also be one of the problems. I keep you guys updated. Yeah, we're currently checking the fuel lines to see, because apparently, well, the expert says that they tend to leak on the B5 RS4s quite often, but so far it's looking good, oder?
Yes.
So at least we have no leaking fuel lines in the engine, which is always a good thing, I guess, which leaves us with a few other options that it could be. But like I said, it kind of fixed itself, so we still think it is the fuel. As you can see, we lifted up the car a little bit. First time we're checking out from underneath. It's leaking a little bit of oil here, but nothing too major. We're gonna do an oil service anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. But apart from that, the underside of the car looks actually pretty good. So at least that is not a bad thing, I would say.
Der Scheiß ist richtig oxidiert.
Und wenn wir mit der Leitung aber noch...
Okay, nix. Jetzt weiß ich, wie es unsere Zuschauer gibt, und du redest. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at the fuel filter and probably also change it while we're at it. Was sagen wir zum Unterboden?
Schlecht ist nicht.
Leider ist es nicht, ja.
Das ist der Schweizer Konterpart. Das bist du in der Schweiz.
Ah, ich habe gespritzt. Ist auch?
Jetzt nicht. Wasser mit Zögern.
Yeah, anyway, that's the old fuel filter. New one should be right here. That's the new one. Sehr schön. Gonna put it inside the car and then hope that that fixes all of our issues.
Was soll man noch machen?
Yeah, it's a little bit dirty, so it definitely doesn't hurt changing it. Yeah, fuel filter is changed, but we're also gonna change this hose here because it is, as you can see, leaking a little bit. Car is ready again. Thank you very much to our Swiss friends for helping us. 5 hours left to drive. Let's go.
24 Stunden. Arbeitstag.
3 a.m. in the morning, we made it back to Austria. Gonna go to sleep. See you guys tomorrow. It's the next day and we finally made it. Sorry, still a bit tired. The RS4 is back in my garage where it belongs, and Mani is also back in my garage where he belongs. We had a pretty exciting adventure, but now it's gonna get even more exciting because it's actually snowing up into the mountains. So we took precautionary safety steps. And we actually picked up some spikes from Patrick yesterday before we drove here. So we're gonna put them on the car and we're gonna see how the car actually handles in snow, because that's actually the reason why we bought this car. Before we do that, I would like to add that we noticed quite a few things that are wrong with the car. So we're gonna have to do that eventually, but for now, the fun is main priority. So let's get the spikes on the car and now we're ready to roll. Oh, and by the way, für dich.
Yeah.
New collection.
Geil, Alter.
And also by the time this video is out, there will probably be another new collection that you guys are going to appreciate because it features Eddie. And I think it's probably one of the best collections I've dropped yet. I really, really like it. Check it out. Link is down below. So yeah, as I said, next up, if this car is able to drive in snow properly and if we're having fun, this car deserves to be restored before we have some real fun with the car. Let's find out how it goes in the snow, and then in the next part you're gonna see us restore this thing and bring it back to its even more beautiful glory, because I think it kind of deserves it. All right, let's go and see if we can find some snow. Yeah, it is finally time. There's two questions that need to be answered. First of all, did I buy the right car for this winter? And second of all, which is actually more important to me, I've never really seen an RS4 B5 in the snow except... Oh, das ist rutschig. Das ist auch unterstützt vergessen.
Boah, jetzt haben wir schon echt.
I've never seen an RS4 B5 in the winter time. There's like one video on YouTube to like a yellow RS4 drifting to like Lincoln Park, but apart from that I've never really seen a video. So I kind of want to see for myself. We have spikes on this car, so theoretically it should have more grip. I'm a bit worried about understeer, as in every Audi. With the B8 it was actually pretty bad until you got used to it. Once you got used to it, it was... Once you got used to it, it was alright. Let's drive up a bit higher so we get more snow.
Yeah.
And the car has an immense turbo lag for some reason. Literally feels like we're driving on the worst winter tires possible, but it's supposed to be spiked tires. Okay, yeah, after all, I can confirm this is not an Evo. So, I think I need to get used to this car quite a lot. Das mit dem zweiten Gang ist ultra nervig.
Das gibt's ja nicht.
Okay, seems like we need to stick in second gear and clutch kick a little bit. Yeah, okay. Once you get used to it, it is actually pretty good. Car sounds so interesting in the interior. I've never heard a car sound like this before. Yeah, once you actually get used to it, it's pretty nice. It's not as bad as I thought in the beginning it was. But you need lots of clutch kicking, and you need to be a little bit brave, I have to admit. Yeah, no, this makes a bit more sense with more snow. Yeah.
Jetzt haben wir. Aber du magst schon kämpfen.
Ja.
Also,
You have to fight the car to go sideways, otherwise it will just understeer. Erst mal RS4 befüllen gesagt.
yeah.
Annie and me, we've been dreaming about this moment for a very, very long time. For several years, we've always said we should take an RS4 B5 in the winter time and like slide it around. And
Yeah.
now it's finally the day that has come. Although it could be a bit more snow, but you know, I got a little bit too excited. I saw that there's a slight chance of snow, so I was like,
Yeah.
let's go out.
I think, in my opinion, the corners are too tight for the car.
Yeah.
You need wider angles.
We need
so
to do something so that the car doesn't have so much. I think we need a different software in the car so the car doesn't
Yeah.
have so much turbo lag.
yeah,
So the turbo spool faster maybe or something, I don't know. Because then I can just stay in second gear and don't have to clutch kick all the time.
yeah.
Alright, let's try it one more time. Yeah, this section here is quite fun. Nice to get used to this car. I think once I'm like 100% warm with it, this is gonna be an absolute weapon. Good thing is the handbrake works quite well. But yeah, you see, if you throw the car into the corners, it works. And then you have to use the weight of the car to transfer. Understeer. Yeah, you see the car wants to go sideways at one point, but to get it to that point you have to work quite a lot. But it is fun, I really have to say. This car is rewarding. Yeah, the exhaust sounds a bit strange, I think, but apart from that I actually kind of like it. There's quite some things that we need to do to it, mainly the gear shifting is so annoying that the second gear sometimes won't go in. But yeah, I actually like it more than the B8, I think, because the car feels way lighter. So you can probably play around with it a bit more. Bro, it's so slippery. I'm on f***ing spikes and I'm sliding like that. Yeah, I think this car actually looks very good in snow. It needs to be lowered quite a lot, different wheels. then I think it will be the perfect winter car.
Looks a little bit like an A3.
Sure, obviously, yeah. Yeah, I think we did the right decision. I'm not 100% sure if it would be the best decision. I mean, obviously, this can't really compare to my Evo, but I want to try different things. And I think this has potential. I actually think these spike tires are pretty old. That's why the car doesn't really have much grip. And there's not really many spikes in it. Probably get some better spike tires, and then we should be good as well. I like how the car sounds actually. It was a bit weird at first, but now, after getting used to it, it's actually pretty nice. The only thing is, I think it could be a bit louder. Such a high-pitched sound that this car makes. It's actually insane. Never really thought I would say this, but this is actually one of my favorite cars, and it is an Audi. Shame on me. Yeah, we really have to say today we did not really get 100% lucky with the snow. Like yeah, now it's good, but the conditions down below there were like a bit shitty. Everything was just mostly slushy. But yeah, I am actually 100% confident now after driving this car in snow that this is gonna be a good time this winter. We were both a bit skeptical at first when we drove it today, because I really have to say it did not really feel great, but you really have to get used to it. Would I recommend this as a winter car for normal people? Probably not.
It's so dangerous.
Because it really understeers a lot, but if you get used to it and if you know how to counter it, which luckily I'm used to driving Audis in winter, then you can really have lots of fun with it. And I think it sounds and looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And it will be even better once we're done with it. After all, it was probably the cheapest RS4 B5 we could find on the internet. And yeah, in the next few videos, this is gonna have a glow up, and it's gonna be the most insane winter weapon that I probably own. I think it will be even crazier than my Evo. Be ready for the next videos. I think we did the right choice this year. We've talked about it for so long. I've already told you guys. We talked about it forever. I really wanted to have a colored one, but this silver is also pretty nice. With the right wheels, I think it's gonna look amazing. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Arrivederci.